Hello, bookish friends. Welcome back to Amanda's Bookish Adventures, and we have August's book haul. Another big one that honestly I could have done two parts for, and I'm not going to because they're all here, so I don't have to do two parts. But July's book haul, I'm still traumatized from having to do two parts from the amount of books I bought. But I unhauled some more, so that's good. We have Psycher. We have Psycho Shifters by Jasmine Moss, and this is a reprint. It got picked up from a publisher, and I love this. It is a reverse why choose. These alpha males think they own me. After growing up with nothing, I think I found my path to freedom. I'm a shifter, a warrior who transforms into a monster. All I have to do is survive boot camp. I did not account on my three 6'5" roommates slash trainers covered in tattoos, jeweled horned. These are like no men I've ever dealt with. They don't think I belong. They don't think I can fight. They don't think I'm strong enough for war. They don't think I can shift. I'm about to prove them wrong. Jax, Asher, and Cobra are going to be devastated when they discover my truth. Just wait until they see my shifted form. So I did pre-order the other copies, and I'm not going to read it just yet until they're all here because it's a wide choose. And for like wide choose series, I like to read them back to back to keep track of the story. But oh, I'm so excited. We also have Monsters Within, Book One by Endless Anger by Saw R. Miller. I do think this is a spin-off, and I have not read the original series yet. Asher Anderson is angry at the world, at himself, at his best friend turned obsession, Lucy Wolfe. Seems determined to ignore the searing heat between them. He doesn't mean to solve all his problems with violence, but maybe he has too much of his father in him. That's why the faculty at their ultra exclusive university hates him, right? Because of the evil blood in his veins. He should know better to darken the ivy covered university where it's practically a law of the universe. Wherever Lucy goes, Asher follows, even if that means entering a twisted labyrinth of secret societies, human sacrifices, and a very personal history soaked in his family blood. Sprayed edges, and I'm gonna start putting the books over here, not on the floor, because I'm not gonna bend down. I'm actually really excited. I'm hoping they republish the original series in sprayed edges. If not, I'll just read it off of Kindle Unlimited. I have a stack of books falling, and my dog is right by the stack of books. I keep getting interrupted. It's okay. So we have Voidwalker. I just got this a couple days ago. I'm really excited for it. It's a big book, though. V smuggles contraband between worlds, stockpiling stolen magic, keep her village safe from the immortal ruler's flesh-devouring beasts that crept from the cracks between realities centuries ago. Armed with slender tails and sable antlers, lethal claws, and gleaming fangs, when a long lost flame recruits V for a reckless energy heist, she unwittingly drags into a coup against the remaining immortals. With V's home caught in the crossfire, but nothing can prepare her for crossing paths with Antal, the beast whose city she has plunged into chaos, or for the deal she has to make with him, a force alliance to hunt down an even fiercer monster. Only their partnership grown into something far more dangerous. I'm really excited about this one. I pre-ordered it off of an ad, which I'm sure of these books you will see have been from Instagram ads, and I can't say I'm mad about that because I've gotten a lot of good books. We have one book by one of my favorite authors at this point, The Deathless One by Emma Ham. Murdered on her wedding day, a falling princess makes a deal for her life with the god of death. But the feelings he stirs in her are more than she bargained for. Jasmine was raised to be a leader for her people, but when the land is overrun by an incurable plague, she must enter a political marriage to save them all. A reunion meant to raise hope brings only death as her new husband murders her at the wedding altar and seizes the throne. Jasmine's spirit is met by the Darkless One, a god of death, yearning to return to the mortal plane. He needs her help. The two of them make a deal, her life and the return of her kingdom in exchange for his resurrection. But this god is a known trickster, and bargains with him are sealed in blood. Jasmine knows the Deathless One is a dangerous ally. The longer they work together, the more she's drawn to him. As their connection deepens, she begins to wonder if there's more appealing the throne is one by his side. But will she turn her back on the people to get it? This is so pretty. I'm so excited that she's being published. She's a traditionally published author, and I love Emma Ham, but I'm so excited because Sprite Edges, we're getting a new series from her. She just released audiobooks of my favorite series by her that I'm planning to do a reread next year and listen to them audibly. We've seen this one on my channel before, the manga series that I have not continued, but they are releasing the light novels in English. So we're going to read side by side the novellas, or not the novellas, the manga with the actual source. Villains are destined to die. The original novel behind the hit fantasy romance comic. When a student with a tragic past picks up a game called Daughters of the Duke's Super Love Project, she immediately sees herself in one of the characters, not the adorable heroine of Easy Mode, Ivana, but the protagonist of Hard Mode, misunderstood villain Penelope. Little did she know that she'd fall asleep playing the game's story and wake up in Penelope's body, the only way to escape the game world. Charm one of the love interests, unlock a good ending, but with the affection meter starting in the negative, and the inability to speak without choosing from a pre-selected dialogue, it quickly becomes clear. Single move means her demise, and the villain might just be destined to die. I'm intrigued because I know the story, and she was obsessed with that game. So it will be interesting to get a full one. I'm still gonna reread the manga series, but I'm thinking I'll do this first, then go back to the manga. Then we have another. This one's a comic, the Mafia Nanny Volume 1. It is a webtoon original. Being an elite nanny is simple. Protect the charge, obey the principle, and don't get emotionally attached. This is easier said and done when Davina's first client is dangerously compelling venting underboss who's determined to get under her skin. What he wants from her, she can't imagine, but Gabriel drags her back into the glittering world of organized crime she thought she left behind forever. Davina might get the answers about her past if she digs deep enough, but her challenges will be protecting Mikey from getting his father's from his father's ambitions and keeping her heart getting tangled up in their treacherous web. We have a sequel, so I'm not going to talk a lot about because I have not read the first one. I'm really excited because now I can read them back to back. And it's The Dragon Wakes with Thunder by KX Song. I'm gonna do. So I got a couple from this series that is in another stack. I just ordered them. Amazon. Got a sucker here because they had these books for $8. Charming Devil by Rebecca Kenny. Alluring and dangerous and unbelievable. The painting that kept Dorian Gray flawless for over a century is beginning to fall apart. Rotted by his life of reckless déance, desperate, he seeks out the only person who might be able to save him, a talented young painter from Dorian's first love. Baz might be the same magical gift as her ancestor, but she's bound never to paint anyone's likeness again. Haunted by the memory of the terrible price her talent can extract, she swears She will not be swayed, not even by the most seductive words dripping like venom from the lips of the most beautiful man she's ever met. Yet, as Dorian tries to pursue Baz by any means possible, they become aware of a darker, deadlier magic awakening around them. Dangerous forces, long dormant, has been stirred by Baz's presence, and are determined to have her no matter the cost. As tensions rise and the desire flares ever hotter, Baz and Dorian become trapped in a complex web of conflicting motives, messy emotions, and a growing desperate passion that may consume them both. And it says it has a rich bonus chapter including character art, bonus scenes, and more. I'm going to get the other two books in the series and hopefully. So they are from different characters. Kathy, these are probably out of order. Kathy Earnshaw got the devil inside of her, or at least that's what the small cultish community she spent her whole life trapped inside would say. She can sense death coming, and every loss sends her spiraling into a violent, uncontrollable episode of grief, wailing like a banshee across the swampy forests of the Low Country. With a secret as dark as hers, there's no hope of relief or escaping or finding someone with a chance of understanding her till she meets him. Heathcliff got his own trauma and a secret dangerous as Kathy, stolen as a child, raised by necromancers. He's the most forbidden sin she can ever imagine, and the most desperately tempting, violent in his passions, tender in his affection. He feels like the other half of her soul, but even as they claw desperately to be together, their world seems to be determined to keep them apart. Because it turns out the little southern community was built long ago on graveyard of lies, and every cult needs its sacrificial lamb. Do you think there's one more in the series? I think it's not out yet, but I think I pre-ordered it. So we have the next one, Beautiful Villain. This one's my favorite. I'm really liking this green. Daisy Finnegan is looking forward to the endless golden freedom of summer. No more college, no more pressure, no more worries. Daisy's all too ready to confront the mysterious host, only to discover the wealthy recluse is Jay Gapsy, her childhood sweetheart, now sinfully hot and impossible to deny. She can never resist him, and it is long before she's entangled up a web of lies and obsession, culminating in a shocking act of violence, but that shatters the summer haze and the threat to drown them all. But it isn't until Gatsby is shot through the heart and survives that Daisy discovers the truth of how he clawed his way up in the world by selling the secret of immortality to the highest bidder. Now, with her friends' lives at stake and her own dizziness, new power still volatile, and an unimaginable threat is closing in, Daisy will have to face an impossible choice: side with the man who claimed her body and soul, or with the monsters who would see him lost to her forever. So, those are those ones, and actually, those sound really perfect. I'm gonna go with a prequel, and then I have the original and the sequel to it, so I can't read the description. So we have The Curse That Binds by Laura Therasis, and I think that's not how you say her last name. 2,000 years before there was Celine, there was Roxlana, her long faded love, her life doomed, and her story forgotten until now. When Roxlana hears a voice inside her head, she believes she's gone mad. The voice, Menon, claims he is a god-touched soul. Her god-touched soulmate, one who has the ability to wield magic. Not only that, but he believes Roxlana possesses magic too. Wild through his claims are, Roxana realizes Menon strikes the truth. First, her power awakens, then Menon, the king of the Smartans, shows up at her door in Rome, proclaims her his wife, and takes her to his homeland. Roxlana's fate is everything she's hoped for, but there are things Menon didn't tell her about his magic, life as the Samaritan, and what she as a queen will have to endure. And she soon learns nothing is as dangerous as love and power. While the combination can be everything and everything in it, everyone. Oh, While the combination can build empires and legacies, it is capable of destroying everything and everyone in its path. And if Roxlana and Monin are not careful, it can destroy them along with it. We have the first one, Bewitched. I knew my queen would come. At the age 20, Selena Bowers desperately hopes to accept into Haben Coven, an academy for young witches, since one of the requirements for entry is connection with her power via a quest through the wilderness. Selene books a trip to South America when a nefarious supernatural force tries to drag her plane from the sky. Selena magic awakens to save her life at a cost, using her magic powers to devour her memories one by one. Worse, when Selena braves the jungle and discovers the source of the attack, she finds herself waking an ancient evil, Manon the Cursed, who mistakes Selena for his long dead wife. The wife who betrayed him. Selena manages to escape, begins her studies at Hamelin, but when Manon turns up at the coven and witches are found dead across campus, Selene becomes entangled in a dangerous plot. Accused of murder on the base of memory loss, Selena must rely on Manon's help for answers, and for her, his plans will change. Okay. Huh? I was told you didn't have to read the prequel first, that it was a standalone. I think you have to read the prequel to get to this, which I was planning on regardless, but what? What did I what did I just read? Like what? Here's here's this one. It's the sequel. I'm a little thrown for a loop. I should not have read that. I knew that. What? What? Jeez. We have The Hex Girls by, or A Rogue Thorn by Lily Mayne, The Hex Girl. I hope this gets a sequel. I haven't read it yet. Everything chill in Coolsville until the Hex Girls move to town. Thorn, Luna, and Dusk, also known as the goth rocker band The Hex Girls, have moved to peaceful, sunny California for a fresh start following the disaster that destroyed their hometown and their reputations. All they want to do is fit in and to win the upcoming Coolsville High talent show. But some things can't stay in the past. Soon after they arrive, an unexplainable mist appears in the garden or on farms and in parks around town, killing all the plants. When signs point to Thorn and the Hex Girls as the cause of the destruction, they become pariahs and begin to feel like strangers to each other, too. Luckily, their friends in Mystery Inc. are on the case. Thorn joins Fred, Daphne, Velma, Shaggy, and Scooby to uncover what really is causing the mist and the decay. Thorn's magic could help, but it reminds her of the things she'd rather leave behind. Can she accept the part of herself to save the town? Or is Coolsville doomed, just like Oak Haven was? Set in Scooby-Doo universe, this novel follows the Love Mystery gang as they dive into the mystery with consequences that are far more dangerous than they have ever faced before. And it's really small. I think two more. We have Dream by the Shadows by Logan Carley. Sprayed edges. This one looks small too. Beauty can be found in the darkness, dreamer. The kingdom of Noctis is plagued by corruption, a curse that spread through the dreaming. The Shadowbringer rules from his castle in the dream realm, stealing souls one dreamer at a time. Only an elixir taken every night before sleep can halt the dreams and ward off corruption. But for some, the allure of the dream realm proves too strong. Esmer Havenfield desperately wants to escape her dreadful village, when her sister Edom succumbs to the corruption and their elixir dealing parents are accused of horrific crimes. Esmer's life unravels into a nightmare. Then she dreams of the Shadowbringer and learns that his signature magic might be a part of her too. Enticed by the prospect of ending her kingdom's curse and avenging as her family, Esmer follows him to a deeper within the dream realm. The price of the darkness has a haunted past. one that might change the fate of Esmer's kingdom and her heart forever. Lush and vividly imagine this seductive gothic fantasy is filled with magic secrets and a dreamy, shadow-haunted romance. Last one, and we'll be waiting. I will be waiting to read this until the other two come out in print, but I'm still so excited. Welcome to Bloodwing Academy. Expert magic, expert competition, expert blood. I didn't sign up for this, a half fae in a school of half high blood vampires. That's the recipe for suffering. I'm Madonna Pendragon, the last of the dragon riders. Or so they tell me. Funny thing is, there are no dragons left, not a single one. But somehow that hasn't stopped vampires from deciding I'm worth capturing. Now I'm stuck at Bloodwing Academy, where the Highborns run everything, and the Blightborn, like me, we're just blood veins, pawns in their game. But that's not even the worst part. Enter Blake Drakharo, cold, arrogant, and way too gorgeous for his own good. He's been tormenting me since the moment we've met. And now, thanks to him, thanks to some ancient ritual, we're betrothed. We're betrothed. Alright, that's the correct. He acts like he owns me, but I'm not going down without a fight. Bloodwing isn't just a school, it's a battlefield. High bloods fight for power, and if you're weak, you're dead. Between the deadly competitions, lies that could get me executed, and a dragon-shaped secret looming over my head, all I have to do is survive. Easy, right? Except I'm starting to think the real danger isn't the academy. It's what I'm becoming in this twisted game of power. And Blake, he might just be the one who pushes me over the edge. They think they can control me. They think they can use me. But they have no idea what they have awakened. So I'm definitely going to wait for the sequels to come out. I'm highly thinking these books all sound amazing, all sound perfect, and I want to read them all right now. But we'll see. As you've noticed, I've been slow on my physical reads this year, and I've been hard on myself about that, but I'm planning to change that slowly. So that is my book haul for the month of August. I think I did good. I held back. I held back a lot. No, this is me. This is not me holding back. I held back on buying books that were not new because some of these have been out for a while, so I did buy those. But these ones have all been pre-orders, so I'm excited to welcome these books into my collection. Hopefully I read them. If you've read any of these books, tell me which one to read first. I'd love to hear your thoughts down below. Bye for now.